Welcome to our channel for this great video. In this session, Larry will be demonstrating a quick, delicious roasted pork tenderloin in the Ninja Speedi. Now, here's Larry.
Welcome to the video, y'all. Tonight I'm fixing a delicious pork tenderloin. The good thing I like about the pork tenderloins, one of the main things I like is the flavor and the tenderness of the meat. However, one of the better things about it too, if you're on a budget, and who wouldn't, this is one of two that came in a package I got at Walmart for $7.49 for the whole package. So this is about $3.70 worth of pork, and it'll feed a small family. Both of them together would feed a pretty good sized family. We're cooking these tonight in the Ninja Speedi, and we're going to use it on the steam and bake function, and we'll get more into that in a minute. But first, let's go ahead and spray some oil on it as a binder for the products that I'm going to put on it next. I'm using avocado oil because it's kind of flavorless and has a real high smoking point. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of my coarse ground salt and pepper, and I'll also put a link to that below in the information because it's just second to none. It's real coarse, has a real good strong pepper flavor, and the best thing about it is it doesn't have any garlic in it. It's hard to find a seasoning that doesn't have garlic, but this one doesn't, and that makes it good for me. I prefer to like garlic in some things, but meat like this I don't. Then I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning that I'll also put in the link below. It's special seasoning, and I'm going to sprinkle that on there. Get it on all sides. And then we're going to let it sit there for about 10 minutes, and we'll come back and get it in the Speedi. The first thing we're going to do with the Speedi is make sure we have it on the right settings. On the top of the Speedi there's a knob, and your selections on it are air fry and rapid cooker. For this particular recipe we want it on rapid cooker because that's where the selection is that we want. Let's set up the Speedi with the right settings. First of all, we're going to take the removable rack, and we're going to open these little tabs on all four corners, and what that'll do is actually sit down in these little notches on either side and put the rack on a higher level than it would be if we had them folded under. The next thing we're going to do is spray a little bit more of the oil, the avocado oil, on the tray to make sure that the meat doesn't stick. And then a really critical thing that we've got to make sure we do is we're going to put 1 1/2, and it really needs to be exactly a cup and a half of water into the bottom. Now, I do have a previous video where I cooked a pork tenderloin like this, and in the bottom I had corn and potatoes. That can be done just as well, and I'll leave a link to that down below too so you can see. This time I'm doing just the tenderloin because that's all I need. So let's put that in here, and it fits better if we put it kind of diagonally across. So we're going to put it diagonally. And now what this is going to do, the way we're going to set it up, and I'll show you how I do it in just a minute, is real innovative. The Ninja Speedi is the only device I've ever seen that does this. It uses 2 or 3 different technologies. On this one we'll be using 3 to automatically cook. It'll first steam the meat for a certain length of time, a programmed length of time, and that depends on the amount of water that's in the bottom. And then it'll actually steam and air fry the roast, and it'll finish it up by just air frying to get a good brown and a good sear on the roast. So let's get started. First of all, we've got it over on the rapid cooker side, and we're going to move down to steam and bake. You have different settings. There's a top setting that's speedy meals, steam and crisp, steam and bake, steam and proof. We're going to put it on steam and bake, and we're going to set the time for 20 minutes. Now, remember, the 20 minutes it'll take us some bit more than that. That's just the time after it finishes steaming. So let's go ahead and turn it on, and you'll see now that the little lights are running, showing that it's preheating and getting ready to steam. And it won't be long before steam's just pouring out. And then eventually it'll cut over and turn on the fan and the top heat. The Speedi has been cooking now for about maybe 15 to 18 minutes, and it just cut over, and you can see that it started the 20-minute countdown that I told it to cook. Also, I neglected to tell you before, when I was setting it up to do the cook, I set the temperature on 350. It needs to be on 350, and that'll be in the recipe that follows this video. So if you have any questions about it, you can look at that. We're going to let it run for 10 minutes, and then we'll come and check a temp on it and see how it's doing. It's finished its steaming. Now it's doing the steam and the air fry simultaneously. So the roast has been in there now for about 12 minutes, and I haven't opened it because I didn't want to let the steam out. So let's take a look. Wow, it looks great. Nice and brown and sizzling. Let me zoom in on it a little bit. Let's check the temp. The USDA says the internal temp on pork should be 140 to 145. That's 170, 180. Wow, it's done. Sure didn't take long. I guess it is a Speedi after all. I'm going to take it out and put it on this plate, and we'll let it rest for a few minutes. So tender, I can tell the way the fork sticks into it. Look at that. Let's let it sit there, and then we'll come and take a slice of it and take a taste of it. Okay, let's cut it and see how it looks inside. I can tell it's nice and juicy. Oh, it's so tender it cuts like hot butter. I don't even probably need this real sharp knife. Look at that. Look, it's just falling apart. Cooking meat with steam like this is so innovative. It does such a good job. It keeps it real nice and moist yet it cooks it. And then when it finishes it with the air fryer, it leaves a nice brown on it. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's delicious. Can you see how nice and juicy that is? And the salt and pepper and the seasonings, whip it on it, made it perfect. If you've enjoyed this video and gotten a lot out of it, or gotten anything out of it, I'd invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can use the little red box on the lower right corner of your screen to do that. Also, in the information below, if you like and share the video and click on the notification button, all those things help us with the YouTube algorithm and make the channel available to more and more people and really help us out. It's also a big incentive to keep producing these videos for all of you. I enjoy doing it. After this part of the video, I'm going to show a little portion of a plate that's going to have some sweet potatoes on it. And those sweet potatoes I cooked just before I did this meat. Also in the Ninja Speedi, they're Ruth's Chris sweet potato casserole, and I did them all, and I did the sweet potato casserole and this tenderloin all in about an hour and 20 minutes after I got home from work. So you'll see what that looks like. There'll also be a cross-reference below for the casserole, so if you are interested in fixing it, you can click on that cross-reference and go right to it. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
This is the photo of the roast Larry just prepared along with the Ruth's Chris sweet potato casserole he mentioned. There is a link below for the sweet potato video. This has been a production of Larry Under Pressure. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you back again soon for our next video. Take care.